Okay, we are live. Hello, everyone out there.
Hello, everyone.
Dan is here, and I'm
Hello.
gesturing like this because on my screen you're on that side, but it's flipped, so you're on the other side. And welcome, Dan. David is in the chat. Hello, David. David is
Oh,
not
he's not
finished.
finished. Oh no.
I love it. David, we won't. I saw you had a thing in there that said do not download yet. So we'll hold off. Um, if you want us to play it, just let us know and I'll pull your most recent change. Um, almost done. Great. Yeah. Just work on it. We're not gonna rush you and would love to see it on this cast, but um just let us know if you're ready for us to check it out. Sony 5 here.
Hello.
Hello. What is up? Welcome back. Um as we're
Uh-oh.
casting today,
I think this stream might have shut down.
uh-oh, it goes up and down. Oh, make a build. All right. We got some stuff going on here. Um, I will run a build, certainly. Um, and as we're casting today, guys, if there is any audio feedback issues with Dan and I together, just let us know in the chat. I think we fixed any problems that we had been experiencing with that. But if there is something, definitely let us know because um, it would be awful if we repeated the thing that happened last time, which was that crazy echo. Um, So let me go ahead. I will run a build of elementals since I did see a lot of really good stuff came through. David is asking, where's Brian? Oh, God. I created this build up about Brian. And then we have Dan and I, which is the normal state of affairs. And so Brian can't come today, alas. He is absolutely slammed with his many Brian Lee responsibilities. Brian did get an error.
He did.
So I was all like ready to have him come, and then he actually had to cancel at the last minute, which I was very sad about because it would be cool to have Brian. But luckily, we have Dan and I here to talk to you guys about this, and at least it gave us the opportunity to do technical support about our casting and hopefully be better casters. So, well, I'm glad to have you back here, Dan. And I apologize for hyping Brian. And then it's like, of course, it's terrible to be like, oh, it's just Dan, because it's not like, oh, it's just Dan. Like,
Yeah, but Brian is Brian, so.
Brian has that special w- like glitter or something. Like, oh. So we won't have Brian today. I'm gonna run a build. It's
Oh,
echoing
it's
for
for me.
Dan.
Hmm.
Hmm. That is interesting. Is my voice echoing at all, or is it just when he talks? Just Dan. That's really interesting. So, Dan, for you, um,
I'm not sure.
I know it's weird. Like, I'm just trying to think if there's any audio that's would be coming through twice. Like, as far as goes, do you have the cast visible on your computer on a browser?
I do, but it's muted.
But it's muted. Hmm. Try closing it, and
Okay.
then I will also see if it's possible for me to. I don't know if there's anything I can do on my end. Um,
Well, it's closed now. So is it still echoing, Emmy?
yes, let us know. Still echoing. Oh no. We thought we fixed the problem. Oh my
Rip.
goodness. Is he totally incomprehensible, or is it possible to generally discern what he's saying? Let us know, because we'll troubleshoot if we can here. I'm gonna run a build while we troubleshoot this problem as well, just so we don't, you know, waste the time when we could fill fill the gap. Ah, da, 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 da. There we go.
Maybe where you have the recording, like do you have one tab of me and then one of Skype? Because then there would be me talking twice in that occasion.
Yeah, let's check that.
Or you could just mute the only me channel. And then keep the Twitch one open. Not Twitch, the Skype one.
Let's try this.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I will say is this new build development. This looks pretty cool. I'm excited about it. If I can get you to not echo, we can actually check it out.
I saw the intro. I'm not sure about that. But the intro, the intro, you had the little splash screen where it faded the logo. Although there is something I do want to talk to you guys about concerning importing sprites. Like if you look at it, a bit blurry. There's a way to make it not like that. Like that's a natural filter Unity puts on for assets to make it look smoother. But if you're using pixel sprites, you don't want that filter because it just makes your sprite look blurry. So there's a way to turn the filter off. So perhaps during this cast or during my cast next week, I could show you how to do that. It's a really quick fix.
I have not fixed anything, so I assume your voice is still echoing, Dan. I'm still looking to see if there's any
I'm not
way
sure what
to
it looks like
get
on
rid
your
of an
side with
extra
OBS.
version.
I'm not sure what it looks like on your side with OBS. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different because we have a plugin that allows us to pull both faces on here. And I have Skype running in the background. That's how we do this, you guys, if you're interested to know. And the audio actually comes through the plugin, and I'm curious if it's pulling audio from the Skype feed and then also these at the same time. I don't have any excess audio sources in my OBS scene though, so I'm confused about where the stream is actually getting audio from, and that's why I'm having problems getting rid of your echo. So give me another couple seconds to see if I can fix it though, because I do think that we should at least try so we can do this well and actually have it sound nice. It certainly wasn't echoing when we tested it the other day, so of course that's why we got to do a live run through. So let's try for another couple seconds. If you guys have any ideas, just toss it in the chat. I know Neural, I know you're a YouTuber, so you might have thoughts there, but it may be specific to using Skype in this format. So yeah, give me just a second here. I'm gonna just see what else I can possibly do.
While you get that sorted out, Neural, I'm just gonna post a link in the chat. It's a really short video that shows how to get rid of the blur. So you might want to look at that. It's only like 1 minute long, but it'll make your sprites look a lot crisper. Or if you want, I could also talk about it in the next cast. But like I said, it's a really simple fix. So just that one little YouTube video might be able to. Oh, Emmy's saying it's not echoing anymore. So hopefully that's good. Is it echoing for anybody else? Narelle or David? It's my stream now.
Hey guys. Whee.
Oh, there you are.
Yes. I live. Okay, how's the echo now? Well, hopefully we can survive this. Because I would like to actually start playing this game and hopefully talk about it. So guys, let us know how the audio is sounding. I'm gonna try to get my head to be the same size as Dan's once again. Clean. All right. Well, if we start echoing, just say echoing and we'll try to resolve it. Maybe we just need to take quick breaks in speaking. I'm not sure, but I am gonna click play on this and see if there's anything else to see in the game. Let's check this though.
Did you see the intro splash screen?
I did not. Should I just rerun the game so we can check that out?
I think so. I think Narelle wanted you to see that. So.
Excellent.
Oh, this looks nice.
Yeah, that did look really nice. Let's run the game again though, because I want to see that. I was indeed preoccupied. Oh, look! Remember that thing you said, Dan, about the icon?
Yeah.
Looks like someone took that to heart. That's excellent.
Nice little icon.
Yeah. Narelle has a good attention to detail. Ooh, what? This is awesome! Oh, yes. This is so professional. Psst, there is a loading screen. Okay. Yeah, so we had this. This is looking really nice. That is so cool. You know what? I have to say, I thought this whole time that like this picture of the shield, I thought it was supposed to be like that he was moving his sword really fast. I didn't realize it was like a separate object, and now I see that it's actually like a solid gold thing with designs on it. That's really cool.
Yeah, I never noticed the design.
I know. It's a little bit, it's smaller in the game, so it's harder to see it. It's nice art. Okay, so we've got some nice audio too. I believe the audio does not come through in Skype, but I don't know if you guys out there on the cast are hearing the audio. Let us know. It really sounded nice. Like when I clicked on it, there was a little like shing. Oh right, I'm trying to use WASD and it's the arrow keys. Oh my gosh, he's throwing a rock. That's another thing we talked about. Look at that. It's like he's throwing a little oh my gosh, I remember that. That's in the project. Great job. It's like he's throwing like a little like a, what you call it, like a, I don't know, like a crystal or something. Oh my gosh, what are the controls in this game, Dan? There's the shield.
There was X to attack, I think.
Die, okay. Okay, you can see the design on the shield. I never noticed that.
Yeah, it's weird. I never noticed.
I know.
Is that new? I don't know.
I feel like it actually may not be new, and we just like were doing other things. I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
One thing I would say is you might want to just fix the layering on the projectile, because the player goes over the tree, whereas the projectile is layered behind the tree. So that's just a slight little, like, weird difference that you might want to just adjust. Oh no.
Ooh, look at this pause menu. This is great.
I like that little, here, unpause it and pause it again.
Hold on. I gotta do something very important. I have to move your head. I'm gonna put you right next to me. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna make us the same size. This is the most, like, professional Twitch cast that's ever existed. Okay. Alright, yeah, let's check it out. So, ooh.
Yeah, I really like that. It smooths in. Although one thing I did notice that I'm not sure if you caught on to, Narelle. I see you have a shade, so like make the background darker. As it pulls in from the left side, the box isn't long enough on the right side to completely like fill up the black space. I don't think I'm explaining it that good, but when you hit pause, there's a little gap on the right side that isn't blacked out because the box isn't big enough. So if you just like pause the game real quick and you look on the right side of the screen, you see there's a little, I'm not sure if you want that or not, but I feel like since most of the rest of the screen is shaded, it looks a bit weird for that one little area not to be. But that's my little 2 cents right there. Again, these are really small things because it looks good. So I'm just pointing out the small things.
The blur is there, he's saying. Oh my gosh. This game is still hard. Although, you know, also I'm bad, so there's that.
Also, did the heart icons always look like that?
It looks different to me. I think the HUD is better. My recollection is that the hearts were in the upper corner, the other corner. And now they've got those little, did we have outlines? I don't remember. Ah, what a failure, what a failure. Yeah, I think they were like, weren't they up here before? I feel like they were just like in the upper left.
I think so. Also, one thing I don't think I pointed out because I was talking about the other thing, I really do like how it comes in from the left side. Like, that looks really good.
Yeah, that is very cool. So, honestly, just with those little menu things, it really changes the overall, like, I don't know, just the feeling of professionalism around it. And, like, of course, we still have some things that we need to do to tweak the enemy interactions, but I immediately feel less like, oh, this is a student game project. I'm like, oh, like, okay, cool, like, this is a fun little game. Are the coins smaller than they used to be? I feel like they look tiny.
Not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, ha. Oh. I'm always just like, I really like the music. Yeah, Narelle was saying, do you like the music? And I really like this. There's more sound, there's more music. The music is like very atmospheric. Is this a Narelle composition, perhaps? Oh my gosh, it's just like, can you even get past this level, Natalie? Probably not. Ugh. Haha! I'm
I
glad
guess
that
another really tiny thing I would point out, I'm not sure if this is intentional or not, but you seem to have like a spear trigger around the player to pick up the coins, but it seems like a lot bigger than the player, so you can pick up coins that you don't necessarily touch, which can look a bit weird, but also it makes it easier to pick up, so that could be intentional design. But I'm just pointing out that I think it's slightly a bit weird. But
yeah, like I almost like picked up the one that was like in the grid square next to it by standing here.
yeah.
So either the it could be that there's a collider around the coin or the player.
Maybe the coin too.
Yeah, because that's what
one thing you could do if you do want it to be easier to pick up the coins is you can make the coins bigger. That'll make it easier to pick it up, while also keeping the colliders feel right.
I definitely think that the next phase for this game would be health.
Yeah, that was something we brought up. I'm not
yeah.
sure they have it elsewhere in the level. But... Neurel, did you by any chance add that at all, or no? Pick upable health throughout the level.
I do also, like, whenever I encounter these guys, wish that I could, like hit with the sword to, like, not... I replaced the star, which was big, and it would take a while to fix it. Bye. I can totally just run away from those guys. Bye. I'm just not going to kill anybody because I always die. I think this is overall, it's just looking great. Like, you know, of course we can keep nitpicking it because that's what we do.
Yeah, like I said, I'm nitpicking, but
absolutely.
It does feel a lot better with these minor changes you added. It does make it feel a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, if we were to revisit our list, I would say that at least one major item on the list was implemented. At least, I think actually two, because generally we said menus, and then I think I also specifically said a pause menu. So it's two like major objectives in this game, was to generally improve the menu interactions, and more specifically, you know, we want to be able to pause, and that has been implemented. I think that there's some other tweaks that are like bonus things that we didn't really even ask for, but they mentioned, like the fact that they were throwing coins now. He's throwing a rock, which makes so much more sense. So I would say that this is a great push for what we would call a sprint. If we wanted to really talk like game industry language and we were using agile design. So I think all the stuff you're saying, Dan, is things that we could keep working on, and some of those things are pretty easy. Like just fixing the collider issue with the coins would take like probably 20 minutes, right?
Or if it's a prefab, it would be way shorter. I'm not sure if the coins are a prefab, but if they are, you could just change all of them at the same time.
That would be ideal. One hopes David used prefabs and not individual different game objects.
Or if anything, you could also just shift-click every coin in the scene.
Yeah.
And then just edit them all simultaneously. That'll save you a lot of time, instead of doing them all separately.
Ugh. Well, I killed him, so that's good. All right. Yeah, and you know, the next stage with this, I think there is a win. Like a win sound. One thing for this, I think, is that it would be really great to get from Tayshawn some art where, oh my god, every time there needs to be a heart up there. Give me a heart, you guys. Give me a heart. I was gonna say it would be great to get from Tayshawn some death animations for these things. There's a shortcut at the start.
I think you could go up the tree, like, or go around left and then back right. I'm not sure how you get up the tree.
This tree?
Yeah, like you go that way, left.
Oh my gosh. These slants are just so like we could fix those for sure. Oh, like over here? Oh my gosh, but how do you get up there? Oh my gosh.
I'm not sure.
Remember Basil from summer last year? He was incredible. We need him. Oh, maybe it's this. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, it's the end of the world over there. Well, who knew that this was even here? This character moves too fast. I still need to optimize, like, the avatar. Like, I shouldn't be able to just walk off of that by hitting the left arrow once, you know? It's like, it's so hard to control. That's okay, though. Let's get him up there. Come on, Ethan. Oh my god, if I fall off, I'll be so sad. No! Oh my lord. All right. So for now, I think that this has been a great review of this one. We should, maybe say like what would be the next steps to work on this. Just
Narelle, before that, Narelle, if you edit anything we didn't point out, just let us know. But as for things you can do for next time, as Natalie said, I think if you could get Tayshawn to give you death animations or sprites for the golems, that would look really good. Because like I pointed out in that one video I did a while ago, well, the cast I did, there's the idea of like permanence, which is just stuff sticking in the level. It sort of just shows the player that their interaction is actually like meaningful in the game world. So like when you kill a golem right now, it just like disappears off the face of the earth. So especially in a game like this, where it's sort of like getting over it and you fall down, you have to go all the way back up, to see like the path you took to get back with just having like the dead bodies there, it's just a nice little touch that just makes the game feel better. And you're not really even doing much to accomplish that goal. You're just putting a sprite there just to show that you killed something here. So I think that would be the next step.
I would add to say a heart I can gather to replenish life.
Yeah, that's also a good one.
Yeah. So those two things, the sense of permanence and health, would be great adds for this. I think that adding that sense of permanence would be hinging on Tayshawn giving art. I think the health power up could be added at any time. Checkpoints is a great suggestion. I personally would love that. We have a little bit of, this reminds me of some people's GameStar mechanic levels. You know, that feeling when you get halfway through and it's pretty difficult, and then it's like, I have to redo this whole thing, but redoing it wasn't that fun. So checkpoints are a great way to do that, but then also like making it fun, which in some ways making the enemies more fun to interact with will help with that. So I think that those are two, I think probably first to do next in this project. So let's move on to some of the other stuff. I wanted to check out Narelle saying, I don't know how.
Yeah, one thing he wanted to do is just forcibly put the player to the win state, because I think he might have done something for that.
Okay.
So, Narelle, for the checkpoints, what you could do is have a trigger just in the scene. Then if the player collides with the trigger, when you die, in the same function or whatever, like whatever code gets called for when you die that sets you back to the beginning, just check to see if you collided with the checkpoint trigger, and then if you did, take it to the that trigger's transformed out position instead of the beginning of the level. And then you can do checkpoints that way.
I think this is where you
Yeah.
win. Let's see. We'll just wait for the next 20 minutes while Unity. Okay. And hopefully I don't like jump down that and I go all the way back to the bottom. Okay. Oh my god, that's awesome! Oh, I'm so glad we did that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so good.
that's really nice.
That was really nice.
That's something I noticed with you, Neuro. Like, you do this a lot. Just the slight movement you add to your UI, like, it looks like super nice and it makes it feel really good. So that's one thing I would compliment you on to keep on doing, because it looks really great.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that one more time just so I can take a look at it because that was really sharp.
I really do like it. It's nice.
Dun dun dun. That was just so excellent. I mean, I've seen some really fantastic animations on Narel's YouTube channel, and I think that overall that like anytime we have you on a project, Narel, we should play to your strengths and make use of the fact that you're fantastic at 2D animation, fantastic at UI flow. This is fantastic. Um, we can click continue, and I imagine, oh, perfect, thank you. Oh, that's so nice. Oh my gosh. And then we have music. Oh, it's just like, I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. All right. Really good stuff. And again on this project, we need some art stuff to happen. We need a little bit of level design stuff maybe to just when we're working on a beta, it's always like, well, maybe we can make the level design a little bit more challenging and textured. But this adds so much to this, I think.
Yeah, I really like the changes you added.
Yay. All right, let's check out Emmy's game. So there is a menu. I'm super excited about this.
I like the menu.
I know. I'm immediately like, yes, this is amazing. I pulled this actually like a couple hours ago and it didn't have this. So like literally I have no idea what's going to happen. And I'm just super excited to see. I think I'm actually going to like move your head to the other side of the cast again, just in case it's because since this one's the first person, I want to just sort of have the center be as visible as possible. So, all right, let's just see what happens when I run the menu. Cool. No, I'm just kidding. This is good basic menu stuff. I love this. Let's see what happens. Test. Yes.
One thing I would point out, Emmy, I'm assuming that probably takes up your whole screen at home. You might not have scale with screen size checked off in the canvas for the main menu, because that would make the entire canvas scale with Natalie's screen. But like, if you saw the menu was that small little box in the middle, if you had scale with screen size checked off, however it looked on your screen, it would look like on our screen. And that's on the canvas object in the scene, and then in the canvas, the component will be called canvas scaler, and then you could check off scale with screen size.
So you're talking about this, right, Dan?
Yeah, and then right now it's constant pixel size. Yeah. You click that one, and then just make sure you scale it again afterwards.
Right. We would need to maybe do a little bit of playing. We can scale everything. Or kind of rearrange it all. Here's my image. We would probably want to turn down the
you would just have to readjust it very slightly to the new scale with screen size thing. But I just want to make sure you know about that, because that's why that happened, if you were curious.
There. I've fixed it. Emmy's on here right now, like, what are you doing? I won't push these changes. Like, Dan's like, change this to make it better, and I'm like, oh, okay, I think I'll just like completely ruin it. That looks great. But you get the idea. Like, it obviously, like, it just like pulled it bigger than the square, and you would just need to rejigger the font sizes. Um, so I think Emmy's still at work on like wiring the pieces together here, um, because there's something on here that says test. And I know because I did look at this project a little while ago that there's some other scenes with other weapons now.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I think this is in a state of development right now, and there's also like a little dialogue type system.
Mm-hmm.
So Emmy, if you're on the cast, let us know if there's anything specific you want us to take a look at. But I was going to show the other scenes that I found in the project and just talk about like how excited I am to see this come together into one thing, because it's definitely going in that direction. So there is now, and this is like my favorite thing ever. Look at this. Okay, don't save because you'll have to redo the canvas thing, but I just don't want my like horrible menu design to.
Just the lights out.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. It's literally like a flamethrower.
That looks really good, actually.
It looks so good. Look at that. That is like the most satisfying, and like it's this really nice particle effect she's got rigged up in here. Of course, we've got a little bit of gameplay to do here with getting something to happen with this guy. But look at this. It's so fun. So that's in there as a it's so good. It's so funny. So there's that one, and then there's also a hand sanitizer level. So, and I don't think this has an interaction yet, but like, what do you think this should be? Like, what type of weapon? Like a projectile, maybe?
Yeah, it shoots out the hand sanitizer.
Yes! Oh
if you could get it to slightly animate each time you click the shoot button, to like press down and up the top of the nozzle, that would be awesome. But
it makes you wonder if that's possible.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that asset has different components to it where you could adjust it. But if you can, that would be cool.
I know. Here, let's check it out. Oh, it's not.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Wait, you might be able to just like have it go like this.
Oh yeah, you could probably do that.
You know, like.
Close enough.
Yeah, here. Again, we won't push these, so. But, you know. We'll just like. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know if you know about this, Emmy, but basically what she's doing, you have the animation window. So you hit record, and then you have to first initialize a transform, because it doesn't take your current state. So you have to set a transform, and then it'll set a little node right there if you see at 0. Like at the very beginning, there's the little diamonds there. So that's what state it'll be at in the beginning of the animation. Then she clicks elsewhere, like further into the animation. And these are all different timestamps, so you could adjust those based on how far away it is or how fast the frame rate is. If you could show her where that is too.
Sorry, which thing did you want me to show again?
The frame rate, like where it says 60.
Yep.
So you could change that to make the animation slower or faster, or you could also just click further or closer away. I see how that tightened them closer. So you could do either or, it doesn't matter. But once you click away from the initial node, you go to the endpoint location of where you want it to be at the end of the animation, and then it will slowly animate towards that position. And then you'll have a simple animation that way.
Yep.
And then if you see, she also goes back to the initial spot at the end, so it resets itself. Because it won't automatically reset itself, it'll just teleport back to the beginning if you don't forcibly make it go back. So that's why she has 3 points. because it goes from the initial point down and then back up, and then it resets itself. Well, it loops itself.
That would be so cool to have. I mean, this is a little bit like it's not exactly how you know what you could do though to fake this out is you could have I have a perfect idea for this.
And then I don't know if you know how to call an animation, but this is just an animation, so you would call it the same way as any other animation.
Actually, I don't think that would work. I'm trying to create a hack. But yeah, you would just run play on this.
Yeah, you just do the animation name dot play. Or you would like have like a trigger system thing in the animator, but that's its own separate thing. So
for this, it would probably be, yeah, maybe you would do the animator and just have one trigger, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're interested in doing this, Emmy, let us know because we can do either one of us in the next couple casts can do a short review of how to set up an animation on your own like this. And then how you would do it in the animator if you want to do triggers. But it is possible, you know, if you wanted to animate this and then have like a blue blob shoot out, that would be amazing. Like this, like, I don't know, like you could even just use like a sort of basic, like blob-like thing. It would just be so funny. So just a different type of particle that's maybe a little bit more like a bullet. Since the toilet paper is kind of like a rocket launcher. Yeah. And we said triggers for animations would be cool. That would be so awesome. And the other thing I was going to say to you, Dan, is to me this suggests maybe an inventory system. And we touched on this a little bit, I think, at a previous point. I don't remember if it was one of your casts where I was chatting with you or the other time we did a dual cast, but if Emmy did want to start looking into creating an inventory system for this, what do you think would be a starting point for learning how to do that?
Like I said in the last one, it sort of depends what you want to do because there's two different types of inventories. There's one where like you just have a set inventory size, and then there's one where it's just dynamic. So you could just infinitely pick things up and it'll just add to your inventory. So if you want to do the first one, where you just have like a set inventory of let's say 3 things, I would look into arrays, because arrays you'll set a set size, and then you could have each of their indexes be a separate thing, which is good in its own way, because then you could specifically like number things. But if you don't want to do that and you just want to be able to just pick things up and just add it to your inventory, it doesn't matter how big it is. I would look into lists, because the lists are basically just arrays, but you could continue to add to it. So you just do the list name dot add, then it'll add the element to the array. So that's good in its own way, but you won't get the luxury of having indexes for each specific thing. So you would have to navigate through the list in a separate way.
I'm just summarizing this in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, so it depends what you want to do. Personally, for a project of this size, you could probably just do a list. It'll probably be easier. You could just do a for each loop if you remember what a for each loop is. But you could look it up. Just look a for each loop. For each.
Cool.
Okay. You just type in for each loop. Just go through each of them, and then you could look for a specific thing about them. So whether or not it's a tag you're looking for. So you could have a list of game objects. So you do if this game object dot tag equals whatever, then do whatever you want with that inventory item. But for this particular case, I'm not sure what you were thinking of for an inventory. Like, what would you put in the inventory in this game?
Yeah, I was thinking more towards like maybe I shouldn't have said inventory. I actually was thinking of like being able to switch between the different weapons with different keys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, I would do an array, because you have your 3 specific weapons, so you could bind each weapon to a key. and then you could use the index for each specific one. So let's say you click the 1 button, it'll go to the array.index1, or technically 0, but whatever. But yeah, if you're going to do a switch thing, where you can switch between the weapons, I would definitely do array instead of list.
Mm-hmm.
A list would be good if you were picking things up, because you don't know when you're going to pick things up. It'll just add to it.
Got
But
it.
if you have a set thing of 3 weapons, I would make an array. And then when you click a button, turn this game object off, turn this object on,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have your new weapon.
So what you would be talking about there then is, hold on just a second. I have this problem. It may be clear from this cast that this is the case. When I click on my mouse button, sometimes it registers as having clicked twice, and so it just does crazy things. Like I just turned the game off. So it sounds like what you're saying is there would be some kind of thing over here in the inspector that has those multiple fields, and it would be that like array that you lay out, and then you would have all of the weapons over here under the player game object, and then you would drag them over into the slots for the weapon controls. And it would be like the top one was like number 1 and the second one's number 2, something like that.
Yeah, what I would do, I just put in the chat, just where you initialize all your other variables, this is how you would initialize your array. So you would just do that. I'm assuming you would want a game object, because you could just put the entire game object for each weapon. I think that would probably be the easiest way for you. And then you're not defining a size here, but in the inspector, you would put like 3, and then it would make 3 little things for you, where you could drag in your 3 different weapons. And then you could access each of them by doing, it's called weapons, so you do weapons and 0 dot set active true. So you do something like that. So if you wanted to switch a weapon, if you hit 1, you would set weapons at 0 to true, and then theoretically you would also turn the other ones off, and then it would be as simple as that.
Yep. You'd have to do a little bit of finagling to check which was the one you needed to turn off, I guess. But you could have like a game object that's the current active or something.
Yeah, you could just for loop. You could do a for loop for just run through each element of the array. Then if it's the index I'm looking for, turn it on. Otherwise, turn it off. You could do that.
Cool. That sounds like a good place to start for a solution with this. And that would be like so fun. Just imagine like we have this scene and like we can tab between those, and then we would be having waves of enemies come and maybe getting increasingly more difficult. And different enemy types, like just a basic enemy that comes after you, and then like a projectile enemy, and we would have a game.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if you had all 3 weapons in a single scene that you could switch between each of them. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. This is a really cool game. I love the idea of adding more of these.
Yeah, I really like this game so far.
Yes, me too. It's just really fun to see like the different like kind of sensibilities of the games that we have. Like Elementals is just so like just a fundamentally different kind of game, and then it's sort of epic, I think, which I really love. And then with this one, it's just like so funny.
And just to Emmy, is there anything else that we missed besides the 3 weapons in the main menu that you added that you want us to look at?
Oh, there's a scene in here called Cutscene. Let's check that out. Oop. Okay, I'm not gonna save this. Looks like this is where there was some text and storytelling that I saw before. So let's see what's been done here.
See, again, like Neuro, I really like the small little animation that you added to have it go up and down. It's really simple, but it adds a lot.
Absolutely. Just little things like that, you know, it adds more like it's more satisfying to interact with. It's not just like this flat thing, right? Emmy's saying, I think you covered everything. This is also cool just to, I mean, obviously, like, this is unfinished, but I can see where this is going.
Yeah, and then also just make sure you add the scale of screen size on this one too.
Yeah. Yeah. Always start with that, and then it's always going to work on any screen. And I have this, by the way, on my gigantic second monitor, so that's probably part of why it looks way smaller than it would on Emmy's screen. But it's, unfortunately, even when you're making a prototype, it's something that you have to think about because literally every single computer is completely different and it's so annoying.
Yeah.
So for things to do on this one, I think Emmy actually knows where she's going with this. So I don't have a lot of prescriptions for this other than just to keep going and maybe get the Lysol working next. Do you have any? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would just because there's some things that are just unfinished right now that I think once it's finished it'll just look really nice. Like obviously the Lysol looks really nice, but it doesn't really interact with the enemies currently. So I would finish that. Also make the Purell work, and then once you have all three of those going and all working nicely, then I would do adding all three of them to one scene. So you could switch between all of them. But that's the main thing I would focus on is getting the main three weapons to work and function as they should.
Yep. I second that notion. Now I have a little time left and we can go over if necessary. I'm going to open David's project and see if he pushed anything new. Because
Yeah, I guess just let us know, David, if we could push or if you have a newer version that you would like us to push.
It's like, don't download yet. It's scary. Yes. Well, I am going to download it. Hopefully it doesn't sometimes I'm like downloading these things. Okay, he pushed. Great. I'm downloading these things and I'm like, David is such a hacker. Like, I'm going to get a virus from a Unity project. So let's just, since he pushed, let's check out the current version and we'll see what's different. These are looking really good, Dan. What do you think overall about the quality?
Yeah, I forget if it was 1 week or 2 weeks, but over the past week or two, you definitely polished it a ton. It looks a lot better. Like, they already looked really good, but the small little polish you added, it just makes it feel like a nice cohesive experience. It feels a lot better. I like it.
All right, we're compiling. We're waiting for Unity as we always do in person and in the digital world. So everybody hang on while we get this going. And hopefully I'm trying to remember what were the things we wanted for this one last time?
One thing, I forget if you said something else, but I specifically pointed out just a more fluid like gameplay loop, like with less downtime, just more knowing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yep. I think that was my main objective for this one too. And I think we knew that David was building out the phone and making sure that all of those functionalities were gradually kind of coming in there. So I expect to see more phone stuff.
Yeah, the phone is really good.
I know. It's such a great idea. Like, I don't know why more games don't just like put a cell phone in. I guess they want to give us a break from real life, and this prompt is about like not taking a break from real life and suffering in video games as well as the reality of the pandemic. But yeah, we're dark, Oh man. So yeah, we'll check that out and okay. One thing I will say, and I haven't done a lot of stuff with player prefs myself in Unity, but I've been getting a lot of these merge conflicts, even when I haven't like done anything in the project. And I think there's something where like the player prefs comes through from David's version of the game, and it's different than mine, and Unity throws a conflict because of that.
Well, yeah, I know that's been specific. We had to move to a different folder, so that could be why. Because yours is located in a different spot.
Okay. Yep. It should resolve itself in just a second here. There's always just a weird delay when you do the do the merge conflict where Unity just is like, I refuse to do anything. Oh, and while we're waiting for this, David, did you get the input system working? I know you guys were working on that. All right, let's run the menu.
Oh, he did get it to work.
Oh,
that's good. I know the whole system is really confusing, so it's good that you were able to figure it out.
So one thing, I don't know what is going on with this menu, but like I kind of can't click on new game. I don't know, like David, I mean Dan, you have played this. You're on this project now, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Have you had this issue? I actually pulled this about an hour ago and I wasn't able to click through the menu.
I don't remember any arrows or something. Just scroll through them.
Yeah. I'm a little worried that I'm not going to initialize the game if I open the main scene. Maybe again, maybe there's some weird input system thing. I do have this, so I can try hitting A on the controller and seeing if that takes me through.
One thing I could think of is, do you have some sort of image layered or like a fade out maybe? Because if you have, I think it's called raycast enabled, that'll take precedence over the button. So it'll just hit the image you have later instead of hitting the button, and that's why you can't hover anything. Let me just look specifically what it's called.
Yeah, the controller is not giving me any ability to hop through there, so I'm going to run the main scene and hopefully I don't mess up anything.
Oh, it's called raycast target. So if you have raycast target checked off and you have an image layered above everything, even if the opacity is 0, it'll still be there. So that could be why you can't interact with any of the buttons. So I don't know if you have an image layered over everything that acts as a fade object. But if you do, make sure you have raycast target turned off, and that would be that's in the image component of the image.
Yeah, I think that the current state with this is there's some buttons that don't do what they used to do. So WASD is working, but mouse look is not working, and I can't push F for phone now. So Dad's calling, but I can't answer it. So I think you guys might need to do some work, and for us to bring this one back on the next cast. Oh, okay, I'll try the controller, David is saying. Let's see if that works.
Yeah, for the input system, like I said, you can have more than one type of thing at the same time. So I would make sure you have both keyboard binds and controller binds available as you input the new system to this project. So that way it's not just one or the other.
The controller is working, so he's saying the controller needs to be unplugged. So I have the controller plugged in. It is working to move the character, but none of the other buttons do anything. Now I'll unplug it. It is unplugged. And let's just see. So I've got movement on WASD. Still not getting F though, and click is also not. I still don't have mouse look for some reason. Let's just see. Yeah. Restart. Okay. So we'll restart it with the controller unplugged. That may have caused some weirdness. It's still mouse look good. Same problem. Ah, that's so frustrating. I would love to answer it, but I can't.
Look up sea trolls in the inspector. Not in the inspector.
In the project.
Yeah, in the project. Click on the top one.
It's missing.
I think everything should be there. Are there any inputs that are missing from what she has there? David? Oh, there were two sea trolls? Here, can you move my head to the right side?
Yes, I did not mean to open Visual Studio. Actually, my mouse just like clicked itself twice on that script. So give me a second to bring Unity back for you. And, you know, the truth of the matter with this is we should probably, you know, if we can't solve it in the next couple minutes, it's probably the case that we should troubleshoot this off the live cast, and then we can do a full playthrough of this game at the start of the next cast.
How? Can you search the first person controller in the project?
This one?
Yeah. Also, there's a slight delay. So.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, just navigate to that folder. The first person character folder. The scripts. Yeah, the sea troll is in there. So I'm not sure what the problem would be. Does everything work properly on your side, David? I'm assuming it does. Just because how you're talking. But
Yeah.
by any chance, did you forget to save and push the last thing?
Seems like we got the most recent push from him, but maybe was this the behavior you guys had seen before this?
Well, yeah, there was an error where it wasn't registering the controls unless it was in this specific folder because the whole namespace thing going on with the first person controller. So I helped him debug that, and then he took it from there. So I'm not sure what else happened after that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like maybe we should just say, let's see if we can get this fixed, and then we'll reconvene next week on Monday. And, you know, Dan, you and I can cast again, and we'll do a really in-depth playthrough of this one, because I feel like much more has been added to this than just input stuff.
Yeah, David always adds a lot. So.
Yeah, I know. And I felt like we were already kind of running low on time there, just with starting this 10 minutes before the end anyway. So, you know, we just have these minor little systems back-end tweaks to fix what's already a really good project. And this game usually takes about 15 to 20 minutes to really delve into. So I think that we should go forward with that plan, and then we can dedicate some really good design time to that on the cast next week. And then we could follow it with some stuff about doing animations for on Emmy's behalf, and we'll check in with you, Narelle, as well. I think that should be our plan, and then, you know, we are kind of pushing here to try to maybe be done with some of this stuff and have a formal milestone at the beginning of June. So maybe in the next couple weeks, we should be looking at wrapping these projects. I believe that the last cast that we'll be doing for this school year is June 8th, the week of June 8th. So
that's a Monday.
That's a Monday,
Just
yeah.
so you guys know.
Yep. And of course, it would be really cool to publish some of these games as WebGL so that the folks at EdAlliance can play them and the folks at Eline Media can check them out. So, you know, what would be really cool, I think, from now is to just really iterate on these, look at them on the casts, troubleshoot them like we're doing now, and continue to play them pretty regularly for the next couple of live casts, just so we can really make progress here. So David, if you would, maybe Dan, you and David could coordinate with each other to, just see if a pull, Dan, on your computer has this problem, and if not, loop me in and we'll figure out what happened when I pulled it. I did take your change and not whatever my change was from the previous push.
Can you just David type in what specific controller you're using? Because I just want to make sure that even if we are using the same exact controller, to see if it still works. And then if it is one or Xbox or PS4, is it Xbox brand Xbox controller, or is it a third party brand Xbox controller?
I think I remember he has that one that's got like a camo kind of print right here, so I feel like it might be a third party Xbox, kind of like mine. Yes, what does yes mean? We said too many things.
you can have a skinned official Xbox.
Oh yeah.
So like if it's Microsoft brand, then that's official. If it's like Fori or something, then that's third party. So you just type in like third party or first party, whichever it is. Because I do have a third party Xbox 360 controller, so I'm not sure if that's the same as what you have. So that we could test the same specific controller to see if it works as long as we're using the same exact hardware.
Let's just see what he says. We just have to wait for the massive delay between when we actually talk and people hear what we're saying.
He doesn't know. Okay,
I don't know. Oh my gosh. All right. Narelle, what is happening here? Right.
On the back of your Xbox controller, does it have any branding somewhere? So we could see if he could just look on the back. Natalie.
I'm trying to get it so that it's not blurry. See how this says Amazon Basics on it? So this is like what we would be looking for, David, just to... Dan, I'm assuming that this would say Microsoft if it were an official.
I believe so. It should say Microsoft somewhere on the back. There's usually a sticker they put on the back.
Yeah. I imagine he's sitting in his computer desk. Third party. Okay.
So I'll try testing my third party controller and see what happens.
Cool. Well, I think we'll reconvene on Monday this week. We'll kick off the cast with playing 3 Fortnights, and David, I'll pull it before the cast and make sure I can get it to work. So if we do have issues, I'll email you, or Dan and I can check those issues in Unity. Move your head. I need to see if shoot or click is in that script. Everyone's like, let's do game development remotely. Oh man, let's scroll it. I mean, the other option is you could just like download the game or just look in your own version, because this should be the same version, but it looks like maybe there isn't any. But the issue is that the mouse look is apparently not working. So I don't know. See keyboard here. Yeah. Delete that one. I don't even know which one that is, honestly. I guess it's this. If I delete that, I feel like I'm going to break the project. I'm happy to, though. I'll just pull your next version. I just feel like if I delete this, the whole game's not going to work because you said it had to be in that folder. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, it's looking for it now. It's looking for it now. So maybe there's another one that I can put there. Move the other one. All right, all right. Where is that located? It's in assets.
Oh.
All right. All right, hold on. Let me move our heads so that we can.
Does that one have the shoot thing he was looking for?
I don't even know. Let's see if it does. Shoot or click. It's there, so.
Oh yeah,
maybe this
that
one
was
works.
shooter click.
Yeah, let's check it out. It's unfortunately it's the same problem. So again, I don't have the controller plugged in, so that's unfortunately I still can't move the camera with the mouse, and I'm pressing F and it doesn't work. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I think that we need to do a deep dive and figure out what's actually going on here. Guys, I will say something though about the namespace if you're dealing with that. These are definitely part of a namespace convention that comes with a Unity project. You can take out the namespace definition and they'll be able to interact with each other from anywhere in the project. So I have done this before in projects, and what you can do is, so you delete this, and then you'd come back all the way down here and remove the corresponding curly brace. But then any other kinds of like scripts that might have interacted with this script in the past might throw an error because they will be looking for that namespace. So you might have a using directive in another script that looks for that namespace definition, and you would need to take that out of the other script or delete that script if you're not using it in the project. But it might solve the issue you're having where you're trying to like locate things so that they are in the same area of the project so that they fall within the namespace that's been defined here. Either one should be a solution that works, though.
Just one thing I do want to say, it does work on my computer with the mouse and everything works
You're able
properly.
to do mouse look and everything like that.
Yes.
So we're only getting an error here on my system for some reason.
I'm not sure if it's not registering. Go to your collab history maybe. Does it have the most recent update? Oh yeah, you do.
Looks
I'm
like
not sure why it would do that then.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but David, at least it does work on somebody's computer. So you didn't do. It still works. So you don't have to worry that much.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe you have to re-download the entire project. I'm not sure. Why it's not working on yours?
Yeah, I think re-downloading the entire project would actually be a good place to start. So, David's suggesting I click restore, and since we are at time, I think we should take this discussion offline. David, if you want to join, we can just really quickly hop on a Google Hangouts out after this to finish the troubleshooting process if you want. I'll email you and reach out so we can fix the issue, because it sounds like you guys actually built the game correctly and we're just having some issues in getting it to show up on my system. So obviously this is not an indictment of the project, it's just a minor technical difficulty. So I think we should reconvene on Monday, and we'll play the game at the start of the cast on Monday so we can really dedicate time to it instead of like getting it running now and then we're like, oh, we have to really get through it quick because we've already been casting for about an hour and a half. So let's make that the plan, and we'll try to get this thing running like as soon as possible today, just to wrap this up. But
Bye, Narelle.
Yeah, bye, Narelle. David, thank you for your patience. And Emmy, if you're still there, thank you for tuning in. I'm really excited, as usual, about everybody's projects. Elementals is looking so sharp.
Yeah, both projects look really good. And from what I'm seeing on my project for David's, the fact that he got the controller system thing working is really cool. Because even I was confused when I was doing it. So the fact that they got it working is really nice. Obviously, it's not working on Natalie's, but hopefully we can figure that out later today.
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and log. Thank you guys for another session. We will be back to you on Monday at 4. You know what's going to happen, but you'll see a reminder from me on email as usual. And as always, great job. Stay tuned for more Unity development. We'll see you guys soon.
See you guys next week.